afternoon. Hope everyone had a great lunch. So today, this afternoon, we're going to move on in the agenda and talk about the approaches for examining the evidence. Our next speaker is Colette Rihane, Director of the Office of Nutrition Guidance and Analysis and the Center for Nutrition Policy and Promotion, or CNPP, within the Food and Nutrition Service at USDA. A registered dietitian and 22-year veteran, she has years of clinical experience in nutrition counseling and evaluating nutrition status for patients across the lifespan. She has been with USDA for nearly 20 years. At CNPP, she provides oversight and guidance for the process of developing the dietary guidelines for Americans and for CNPP's Nutrition Evidence Systematic Review, the review of nutrition data, and the development of USDA's food patterns, and the updates to the Healthy Eating Index. Please join me in welcoming Colette Rihane.
Thank you very much, Eve. Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone had a great lunch. Happy to see everyone here. We have a lot of good information for you this afternoon. Please, we're gonna have to try to make sure you don't fall asleep after lunch. So what I'm going to do right now is just going to introduce to you various approaches for examining the evidence. Those approaches that will be used by the committee members in examining the scientific evidence. Reviewing the science, answering questions on a variety of topics, and developing a scientific report of findings is like completing one gigantic puzzle. It's important to remember that not all questions are created equally, and not all questions can be answered using the same approach. There are several approaches that can be used to answering a particular question. Listed here are the 3 approaches that will be discussed in more detail over the next few hours. We have several speakers who will be discussing each one individually. One approach that is used is, as you've heard the term, nutrition evidence systematic reviews. These are systematic reviews that inform the committee's work and will be supported by the Nutrition Evidence Systematic Review Team, or the NESR team, at USDA Center for Nutrition Policy and Promotion. These reviews will either be new, original systematic reviews that the NESR team and the committee will conduct to answer the questions on diet and health by searching for, evaluating, synthesizing, and culminating all relevant peer-reviewed studies. Or they will also be able to look at existing systematic reviews, which I believe has been alluded to, that the NESR previously conducted, which are relevant to the current topics right now and the questions being investigated. Another approach is food pattern modeling. These are analyses that are performed using national data sets as well as findings from systematic reviews to help us understand how the changes in dietary recommendations might impact meeting nutrient needs across the U.S. population. Additionally, data analyses will be looked at, which are a collection of analyses used with national data sets to help us understand the current health and dietary intakes for Americans. The data help make dietary guidelines be more practical, more relevant, and also achievable. As you can see, each of these approaches has a unique place in assisting the advisory committee in answering the questions that need to be answered. As I mentioned already, not all questions are created equally, and therefore, not all questions are systematic review questions. That's very important to remember. The best approach to answering a question depends on the nature of the question and the type of information needed to answer that question. As the next speakers describe each of these approaches in more detail, you will see that each approach is clearly protocol-driven, completed in a very rigorous and objective manner, and most importantly, designed to help minimize bias. This is just one of the many commitments our agencies has made in support of the National Academy study that Dr. Studi talked about earlier before the break. Together, these approaches for examining the evidence are meant to be complementary approaches that together provide a robust evidence base for all the questions across the topics that have been identified. The approaches provide unique contributions to help answer questions, and it should never be suggested that one approach is superior to another. In all these cases, federal staff across USDA and HHS, which you've heard already, we have a vast team to assist, will be supporting the committee in various ways during its review of the evidence, regardless of the approach being used. So we're going to start to first look at the first of the three approaches that we are hoping to introduce to you, and that review will be by Dr. Julie Obagi. Dr. Obagi has been with the Center for Nutrition Policy and Promotion for nearly 10 years, reviewing evidence to support work to develop and implement dietary guidance to help improve the health and well-being of Americans. She is leading the work of CNPP's Nutrition Evidence Systematic Review Team to support the 2020 Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee's review of the science. She will spend her time today providing an overview of NESR and answer questions the committee may have afterward. Please welcome Dr. Julie Obagi.